Emma is in bed, holding the blankets tightly, her heart pounding. She was freaking out. This was not supposed to happen. He isn't supposed to come home this early. She heard footsteps coming upstairs. Steady, practiced, calculated footsteps, each sending shockwaves down her spine. The footsteps came closer, right to the door, and then passed by, heading to the bedroom down the hall, the master bedroom. She relaxed a little, but she wasn't safe just yet. She stayed wide awake, fighting her urge to sleep. She had been studying the whole day, right into the night. She isn't in this house for the best of reasons, but at least here she gets some peace. College break is ending soon, and she won't get much time to study. Her life is a mess. Her anxieties came rushing back when she heard the master bedroom door being opened and footsteps. This time, they came right to the door and opened it. Noah had just walked into his house and immediately noticed some anomalies. The place was in order, too organized and quiet. No beer bottles and boys. That was a change. A very unexpected one, considering he came home as a surprise. This wasn't his scheduled day of arrival. He'd thought he'd find a loud, wild party blasting through the house, but it was the opposite. Every place was clean. If he hadn't seen his sister's favorite car, one she never goes anywhere without, in the garage, he'd have assumed she had gone out or something. He went to his bedroom, showered, and decided to check up on Isabella before going to bed. He had gotten her a gift and planned to leave it in her bedroom like he normally did. She'd find it as a surprise in the morning. That's how they have always done it. He loves his sister so much. They have always been close. That's why Isabella would rather stay here with him than with their parents. He walks into her bedroom, places the gift bag on her couch, and was just about to head out when he noticed something. The bedsheets were shaking, like the person under them was having a panic attack or a horrible fever. That was suspicious. He, of course, being worried, goes to check on his sister. "Isabella?" he calls. "Isabella, are you okay?" he says and tries to pull the sheets, but he couldn't. It was like someone was holding them tightly. He was getting really scared, thinking something happened to his baby sister. He put a little force and pried the sheets off her. She was face down, so he pulled her to face him, but the person he saw was not his sister at all. It was a strange, pretty girl crying her eyes out. "Who are you? Where is Isabella?" he asked in anger, but she just shielded herself like she was expecting to be hit or something, and she kept crying. "Speak, girl," he shouts. She jerks in fear and tries to conceal herself. Noah could tell that this girl was too hysterical. She wouldn't be able to speak, and she looked really scared. He gets his phone and calls Isabella. He was really angry. The one time he thinks she stayed home and was well-mannered, she goes ahead to disappoint him. He calls her 3 times, and she doesn't answer any. He was about to call her again when he heard a phone ringing in the room. He looks at the strange girl holding a phone. She looked freaked out. Noah grabs the phone from her, and sure enough, it was Isabella calling. He answers it, but before he could say anything, Isabella's loud voice rang through. "Emma!" she shouted. "Why is my brother calling me constantly this late in the night? What did you do? Is he back home?" she asked. "Listen, Emma, for your own sake, Noah better not discover that I'm not in that house. Don't you mess up. You know what I'll do to you. You have clear instructions. Do not answer doors. Do not let the neighbors see you. And most importantly, my brother should never find you in that house. If he arrives, you stay in bed and pretend to be me, and inform me. Do you understand?" she shouts. "You know what I'm capable of. If I get discovered, I will kill you," she barks. Emma was freaking out at this point. Her tears were rolling uncontrollably. This is the last thing she needs right now. She feared that Isabella's brother would speak up and she would find out everything, and that would be the end of her. Isabella is her bully. She and her friends have made life miserable for Emma at college. They even got her fired from her job in a fast food restaurant. The only way she can get the job back is by doing whatever Isabella wants. She really needs that job back desperately. She can't just go look for a new one because Isabella will just find a way of getting her fired again. She has done it before. So, she agreed to stay here in Isabella's house, taking care of the place as she went for a party in a different city. The rules were clear. She should not get discovered. She has done this for several days now and had never gotten caught. But her luck has run out. Noah sees Emma's miserable state, and despite wanting to reprimand his sister, he just cuts the call. He'll need to talk to Isabella face to face now. He has always known Isabella to be a very hard-hearted girl, but he never thought his baby sister could be a heartless bully. Well, she has always been a known bully, but he thought she had left her old habits. He drops Emma's phone on the bed and walks out. Emma is so surprised by this, but she can't get any sleep for the rest of the night. She knows Isabella will come for her soon, and she dreads the thought. First thing in the morning, at dawn, she grabs her things and discreetly leaves the house. She doesn't want Isabella's brother interrogating her. She is already in enough trouble as it is. She starts the long walk to her house, the rugged place where all her childhood nightmares are stored. Sadly, the nightmares are still ongoing. Emma has had a troubled childhood, growing up in an abusive home. Her parents have never cared about her. Being at home was always a hustle. She had to spend most of her days hiding in the woods behind her house. Sometimes, the neighbors would help keep her in their houses, but she would always need to go back to her hell eventually. And that was the case today. As soon as she walks into the house, her mother comes to stand in front of her, blocking her. "Where's the money?" she asks. Emma had said she was going to do some job and would be away for some days. That is the only excuse her parents accept whenever she sleeps out of home, because they love money and always wait to take whatever she gets. She has been paying for utilities in this house ever since she was old enough to hawk water on the streets. She was barely 8 back then. "They haven't paid us. They said we'll be paid in 2 weeks," she answers. Her mother just glares and walks off. They don't even care to ask what job she went for. All they want is money. They don't know that she lost her job. She's just been giving them her savings to cover rent and food. She really needs her job back. She doesn't earn enough to move out, but she hopes she can hold on a little longer, until she finishes college and is stable enough and qualified to look for a real job. Until then, she has to endure. If she managed to survive here as a child, she'll be just fine as an adult. Every day, she leaves the house to go to the library, stays there studying, and comes back in the evening. She couldn't stay home. It is toxic at home, and she can't have her parents finding out that she's jobless. 2 weeks pass, and today, she decides to go visit Esther. Esther is her old neighbor who lives in an elderly home now. She and Emma are still good friends. She is the only good thing in Emma's life. The old woman is even the one who pays her tuition fees. Her parents had told her they wouldn't spend a dime on her college education. They even suggested she sell her body instead. Emma prepares some cookies, packs them up, and starts her walk to the elderly home. On her way, she receives a dreaded phone call from Isabella. Her hands begin to shake as she answers it. "Hello, friend of mine, how have you been? Let me guess, enjoying your life after ruining mine?" She laughs. "Isabella, I'm sorry. I didn't know your brother would come home early. You told me he'd be gone for a week more," Emma says in a sad tone. "Oh, so it's my fault? You're blaming me? This whole thing is my fault?" she barks. "That's not what I'm saying," Emma begs. "Well, guess what, Emma? I'm no longer grounded, so come and pay me a visit, will you?" she says in a fake, cheery voice. Emma knows what that means. "I'll be there soon," she says in defeat. She really hopes Isabella can have mercy on her and help her get her job back. Isabella and her friends, Mirabelle, Tasha, and Stacy, had framed her for stealing. She can't just go looking for another job. That reputation will follow her wherever she goes. Her boss was merciful enough not to get her arrested and promised to hire her back if she comes with solid proof of her innocence. She is truly at Isabella's mercy. I don't think you understand me, you fool. I want you here. Right now. This very second. I'd be running here if I were you. Isabella warns and cuts the call. Emma knows there is no way out now. She starts hurrying to Isabella's house. It's about an hour-long walk, so she knows she's in trouble. And she arrives, Isabella says mockingly as Emma walks in. All her friends, the ones who normally bully Emma with her, are there. Emma knows this couldn't be good. One girl grabs her bag and they help themselves to the cookies she had prepared for Esther and her elderly friends. Well, Emma, I can think of a lot of things I want to do to you, but I was grounded for 2 whole weeks, and all I want to do right now is go enjoy myself with my girls. She laughs, and they all cheer like teenage girls. I have a lot of chores, though, and that's where you come in, darling. You need to do everything on that list. It's because of you my brother turned me into a maid anyway, she spat. And since college starts soon, you need to do all of our research projects, detailed and good. I better get an A. You must be done today, she warned. Then, you make dinner and leave before my brother or I get home. Do you understand? She ordered. Emma was at a loss for words. Isabella, that's impossible. I won't be able to do all that today. That is just impossible. My own project took me days, she reasoned. Great. I will take your project then. Be done with the ones for the girls. We need to submit them early, like the good students we are. They laughed loudly. Isabella, that is really impossible. I worked so hard on my project, and I need the good grades. It takes a lot of hard work and research. Mine was hard enough. I can't do that again for 4 more people. I can help give you all some pointers, but you will have to do the work on your own, Emma reasoned, trying to sound as composed as possible. It was better she told the truth rather than act like she could do the impossible. You want to help us? She mocked. How about we help you? She said, glaring at Emma. Girls, come let's do some charity work. Emma needs our help, Isabella says with a murderous glare. Noah works as a software architect in a big tech company. Today, he decides to leave work much earlier than he usually does. Isabella's restrictions were lifted today, and he could swear she would be up to something stupid again. He had confronted her about the strange girl he found in her bed 2 weeks ago. He accused her of being a bully, but Isabella swore up and down that the things she said on the phone wasn't serious, that those were just empty threats. And she paid the girl a lot of money to be in the house just to keep it safe. Noah didn't believe her at all, but there wasn't much he could do. He didn't even know where to find the strange girl, so he only had Isabella's word for it. Besides, their parents wouldn't allow him to do anything to Isabella. She always got away with everything. They shielded her like an egg. That's why she had been confident since childhood, and he himself, as a big brother, played a part in spoiling her as well. Noah arrived home, and it was oddly quiet again. He knew she wasn't home, but he was surprised to see the whole house cleaned. Everything was organized. There were no packets and boxes of fast food and snacks littering the house like how it usually was when Isabella stayed home. Noah walked into the kitchen and was surprised to find it clean as well. Dinner was neatly set out too. Noah was so shocked, he opened the pots and tasted the food. It was great. He knew Isabella couldn't cook that well at all, but he didn't want to think about that. He just wanted to hurry, freshen up, and come enjoy the meal as he waited for Isabella to return. As he was walking out, he spotted something. Walking deeper into the kitchen, he realized it was someone, a lady on the floor. Noah panicked. It was the same girl from a week ago. She was unconscious and pale. Instead of enjoying a delicious meal in his house, Noah was now sitting in a hospital. He couldn't get to Isabella no matter how hard he tried, and he had no information about the strange girl. He didn't even know her name. How was he supposed to contact her family? He had rushed there with her. so he didn't grab her phone or check through her things. As he was wondering what to do, he saw a doctor and 2 police officers coming directly toward him. "We would like to have a word with you regarding the patient you brought here," one officer said seriously. "What about her? Is she okay?" he asked. "She is stable, but she has had worse problems than the ones she encountered today," the doctor said, looking really angry. "Who are you to her? Brother? Boyfriend?" the officer asked. "No, I don't even know her. She is a friend of my sister's or something," he explained. "Are you sure? Where did you find her?" the officer inquired. "Why are you asking me all these questions? What happened to her?" Noah asked defensively. He wasn't about to let these officers treat him like a criminal. "The lady has many scars, a lot of fresh bruises as well, but there are scars dating back years," the doctor explained seriously, glaring at Noah. It was a female doctor, so he could understand why she didn't trust him. A bruised-up woman had passed out in his house after all. "Listen, I don't know that girl, but I understand this could be suspicious," he says thoughtfully. "It's logical that anyone's first thought on hearing about this could be to deem him as the aggressor and abuser of that innocent girl." "So you were at home, alone, with your sister's friend, and she was beaten up?" the officer states. "Listen, how about we wait for her to wake up? She'll tell you everything that happened to her, because I myself want to know what happened, and I'm not entitled to answer any of your questions," he says seriously. The police, not knowing what else to do, decided to wait. They were going to interview her anyway. The doctor informs them that the patient will wake up soon. She fainted out of exhaustion and weakness from the bruises. Emma wakes up to find herself in a private hospital room. Her first thought is how she got there, and who would pay the hospital bills. Her parents would kill her for sure. Couldn't whoever brought her here take her to a government hospital? She isn't a stranger to waking up in hospitals. The last time, her parents had to pay her healthcare bills after her teachers took her to a private clinic. She got worse injuries than the ones she was taken to the clinic for once she got home. Emma tries to recall everything. The last thing she remembers is doing all the chores at Isabella's house. She even prepared dinner, and just as she was about to leave, she blacked out. She had been dizzy the whole day after receiving that horrible beating from Isabella and her friends. Just then, a nice woman in a doctor's suit walked in. She greeted Emma kindly and told her that the police wanted to talk to her, but she shouldn't be scared to tell the truth because she was in a safe space. Emma felt really scared after she heard about the police. They came in and asked her the usual protocol questions, but she refused to tell them anything of importance. She insisted that she fell down the stairs. That was a common excuse abuse victims use. The police didn't believe her at all, but there wasn't much they could do. Emma is no child. They asked her about the man who brought her to the hospital, and she had no idea who they were talking about until they mentioned his name. She made it clear to them that he had nothing to do with it and didn't even know her. The cops took her statement and left. Noah walks in shortly after. "Emma, that's your name, right?" he says, staring at her. Emma nods slowly. "I know my sister somehow had a part in whatever happened to you. Why didn't you tell the police?" he inquires. Emma just kept quiet. What can she say? If she had to report her abuse to the police, Isabella wouldn't be the first person she'd report. She is very much used to getting a few punches and kicks. "Do you have anyone I can call? Your parents?" he asks, and Emma is immediately filled with dread. "I'll just go home," she says, and tries to get off the bed. "No, sit back down. You're spending the night here. You get discharged tomorrow," he instructs. Emma sits back down slowly. She is really exhausted. She does want to rest, and the last thing she wants right now is to go home. She looks around the hospital room. The place is large, spacious, and clean. It doesn't even have that typical hospital smell. Excuse me, sir. How much is a night in this room?" she asks in a low tone, avoiding Noah's gaze. Understanding what she means, he decides to reassure her. "Don't worry about that. The bills will be handled." Emma relaxed a little. Thank you, Emma says, meaning every word. She is basically penniless now. Get some rest, he says before walking out. He got home and Isabella was already there. She rushed to him happily. Welcome, brother, she greeted. I've been calling you, he states. Oh, sorry, I was sleeping. All the chores wore me down. I just needed to get some rest, she yawns. I made dinner. Just go freshen up and we can have dinner together, she says. Noah just stares at her like he can't believe she's his sister. How evil is she? How can she do that to someone? And how is she telling such a bold lie so naturally? He wishes he could reprimand her, make her pay in some way. But she is his sister. He isn't righteous enough to make her face real justice. Even if he were to get her arrested, his parents would bail her out immediately, and they'd go after Emma. They can never accept Isabella's mistakes. Either way, Emma herself doesn't want to tell the truth. He needs to be careful about this, and maybe find out what Isabella really has against that poor girl. He wonders whether Emma is really putting up with Isabella just because of money. I'm tired. I don't have an appetite for dinner, he says and walks off. Knowing the person who really prepared that meal is lying in a hospital bed right now. Are you sure, Noah? It's really good. The best meal ever. I trust the cook. She works like a master chef. It's like she's done it her whole life, she states. Noah stops and turns around to stare at her. She panics. Which is me, of course. I'm the cook. She laughs nervously. Noah just walks up to his bedroom without a word. The next day, Emma wakes up, and she is indeed discharged. She has her breakfast, making sure to eat as much as possible because she might not have another meal in a long time. She gets dressed and opens the door to see Noah standing on the other side. Good morning, I brought your bag, he says, handing it over to her. Thanks. Where do you live? I can give you a ride, he offers. Thank you, but there'll be no need for that. I'll take the bus. I insist, Noah says and leads the way. The ride is a quiet one. Very awkward. Emma hopes it would stay that way. But Noah spoke up. How long has my sister been bullying you? Noah asks. The doctor had said Emma had bruises dating back years. From what he knows, she and Isabella met at college. They were just starting their second semester, which means they haven't known each other that long. Emma doesn't answer that. She doesn't know how to. How much do you want? Name your price. I don't want you working for my sister anymore, he says, puzzling Emma. He thinks she is doing all that for money. She wishes she was getting paid to be beaten up. She'd probably be filthy rich by now. She wasn't surprised, though. Isabella must have lied to her brother. You can stop here, she says, and Noah stops a block away from her house. She thanks him and gets out of the car, then starts walking home. Noah doesn't drive away until he sees the house she walks into. He has no idea why she didn't want him to drive her directly home, but he has no time to dwell on that. He's getting late for work. He turns around and drives to the company he works at. He arrives, and just as he's about to get out, he sees Emma's prescription medications. She had forgotten to take them. He'd have to take them to her, because she has to start taking them immediately. He goes up to his office, drops his bag, reports for duty, and then quickly drives back to Emma's house. He drives directly to the house he'd seen her enter. He knocks on the door, and an older man answers. Who are you? He asks. I'm Noah, a friend of Emma's. I brought her pills. She left them in my car earlier. He explains. What was she doing in your car? The man questions suspiciously. Nothing. I was just dropping her off from the hospital. She spent the night there. Noah explains again. Well, she isn't here. Maybe she went back to the hospital. The man shrugs nonchalantly, like he doesn't care at all. But I dropped her off here, Noah says, suspicious. You brought her home? When? The man asks. Just about 40 minutes ago. Isn't she home? Noah asks, confused. The man doesn't answer. He looks enraged. I'm sorry, who are you? Noah inquires. I'm her father, and I think I know exactly where she is, he says with a deadly glare. He grabs the drugs from Noah's hands. I'll give this to her, he says, and slams the door in his face. Noah is now so confused. That man didn't have the kind of awareness a father should have when he finds out his daughter spent the night in a hospital. Something was off. After Emma had seen Noah drive off, she made a beeline for the woods behind her house. There was no way she'd survive if she went home. She walks into the woods and goes to her spot. The spot she has spent so many lonely nights and days in. She pulls out her flimsy mat, which she keeps hidden in a fallen tree trunk, and spreads it out to rest. 2 weeks have passed and she has exhausted all her savings. She has nothing to give her parents. She had told them she'd receive the pay for the mysterious job she went for in 2 weeks. Well, the 2 weeks are done, and all she has are bruises. Her entire body is aching. She really cannot take another beating. She knows she can't spend the night in these bushes, that's for sure, but she just isn't in the mental state to stress herself out about that. She just wants to forget everything right now. She loves the feel of peace and quiet in these woods, so she easily drifts off to sleep. She has no idea how long she's out, but she gets a rude awakening when she is yanked up by a massive force and a hard slap lands on her face. It's her father. Her head whips to the side, and she feels like her neck broke. She's barely awake, but after a few more hard whips to her body, she's wide awake, crying her eyes out and begging. So this is where you've been hiding, her mother screeches. 2 weeks have passed. Where is our money? She barks as her father holds her down and keeps whipping her. Mum, I don't have any money right now. Please give me some time, she begs, crying. Shut up. What time? What are you talking about? You said you'd be paid in 2 weeks. We let you live in our house and eat our food for 2 weeks for free, and you're here, sleeping peacefully? She shouts. Mum, please. Dad, I don't have money. I lost my job. I need some time to find another job. She begs in between sobs. This only enrages her parents more. Noah was about to leave, despite how curious he was. He got in his car, and just as he was driving out, he saw the man who claimed to be Emma's father and a woman speed walking into the woods behind their house. His curiosity was piqued. The man had said Emma wasn't at home, and that he knew exactly where she was. Noah just felt compelled to follow them, so he did. He had no idea what he was looking for, but as he walked deeper into the woods, he heard something. Screaming. Pained screams of a lady. He hurried towards the sound and, on arriving, the sight he saw truly broke him. Emma was being beaten mercilessly by her father as her mother cheered on the abuse. If he hadn't heard her begging them for mercy and calling them Mum and Dad, he would have sworn they weren't her parents. He ran over quickly and tried to shield her from the strikes with his own body. Emma clung to the stranger with the tiny bit of strength she had left. She felt like she was dying. She was tired of crying. Her eyes were clouded with tears and her whole body was burning. Wait, wait! Stop it! Stop it! Noah shouted as Emma's father kept trying to pry her off him. When he didn't stop, Noah punched him so hard he went flying into a tree and was down for a few seconds, trying to regain his balance. Noah went back to try and help Emma, who was hysterically crying. Who are you? Who are you to my daughter? Oh, so Emma, you brought your lover to come beat up your parents, right? You brought your lover to kill us? Her mother screamed. You can do whatever you want. In fact, you can go with him. Just pay us up immediately, she ordered. Emma could barely hear them. All she could hear were her own sobs. What kind of parents are you? What has she done to deserve this? She was just in a hospital, for goodness sake, Noah screamed. Emma's father struggled to stand. Who do you think you are to teach us parenting? She is our daughter. We shall train her however we wish, he barked. What gives you the audacity to attack me? It looks like you've been sleeping with my daughter, he barked again. Is that where you spent the night, Emma? Sleeping around with men? He accused. What are you talking about? I told you she was at a hospital last night. She hasn't even recovered yet, Noah said in disbelief. Are these people even serious? We don't care. Let her pay up. We have bills to pay, her mother shouted. How much is it? State your price, Noah barked. The two people loved the sound of that. They had already taken notice of the way Noah looked, the clothes he wore, and the luxury car he drove in. They whispered among each other and decided to rip him off as much as possible. Noah carried Emma out of the woods as her parents led the way. He went to his car, got some bundles of cash, and threw them at them. The couple was ecstatic. Their greedy hearts were so full. Emma, who was thinking a little clearer now, was freaking out. Her parents would surely rain hell on her. That punch Noah gave her father, she would receive 10 times worse, let alone the punishment waiting for her for allegedly sleeping around. She was spiraling, dreading the fate that would befall her once Noah left. I hope the money is enough. Will you leave her alone now? He asked angrily. Her parents laughed like high school students. She's our daughter, our only child. We love her. There are just times you have to train a child the hard way, her father said awkwardly, sniffing the bundle of cash. She's coming with me. I hope you don't mind, he stated. There was no way he would leave Emma with those people. He now understood where the scars on her body, mentioned by the doctor, came from. Emma was so shocked to hear what Noah said. Does he really want to take her with him? What? You want to go with her? Of course you can. Why not? You seem like a really capable man, her father said, laughing like he had just closed a business deal. I will pack her bags right now, her mother said, and ran to get her things. They were very eager to send her off. Sir, Mr. Noah, what you saw in the forest was just a once-in-a-while thing. We're normally a happy family. Please take care of her and do come visit us more often. Maybe we can welcome you in better next time. You'll find out we're actually good people, her father explained. But that was of no use. Noah had already gotten a clear view of the kind of people they truly were. The ride was quiet. Emma couldn't even describe how relieved she was that she hadn't been left with those monsters she called parents. Noah had suggested taking her back to the hospital, but Emma begged not to go. She said she was fine. Noah didn't push it. He could tell the poor girl was embarrassed. So, Noah just stopped by a pharmacy to buy her another bunch of drugs, since the other ones had remained at her parents' house. Then he began to drive home. Emma was dazed throughout the ride, having no idea what to say or do. Her body was aching, her head pounding, and her shame high, recalling the messed-up state Noah had found her in. As she was deeply engrossed in her thoughts, she started taking notice of her surroundings. A very familiar road. She sat up and freaked out. Excuse me? Where are you taking me, sir? She asked, her voice cracking. Noah looked into her glassy eyes, tears welling. I'm taking you to my house. You can stay there for as long as you want. There are enough rooms. You'll be safe, he reassured. Emma stared at him like she had seen a ghost. Was he kidding her? Was that a joke? She'd be safe there? In his house? Sir, there will be no need for that. I'm really grateful for everything you've done for me. I don't have any money to repay you right now, but I promise I will. It may take long, but I'll do my best, she said politely in her low voice. I have a friend somewhere around. You can drop me off right here. I'll stay with her for the time being, she suggested with a low voice but a hint of urgency. Noah stared at her. She was really nervous, fidgeting, looking shaken up. She had just been beaten horribly a few minutes ago, so it wasn't a strange reaction, but she had been quiet and dazed just seconds ago. Now she was panicking. It didn't make sense. Noah wondered whether it was something he had said or done. Give me the address of your friend, I'll take you there, he offered. I don't know her address. I'll need to call her. Just drop me off right here, please, sir, she said urgently, tears now rolling down her cheeks. Noah immediately stopped the car. He didn't know what to do. He looked around. They were almost at his house now. He couldn't just leave her here. As he was trying to figure out what to do, he recalled something. He feels so stupid. How had he forgotten? Did he really just plan to take her to his house? The one he found her passed out in last night? After his own sister beat her up? That was the reason she had been in the hospital to begin with. He had really taken her from her abusive parents' home and planned to take her to her bully, his own sister. Emma was just about to open the door to get out when Noah started the car again, made a three-point turn, and drove off without saying anything. She herself just kept quiet. At least he wasn't driving her to his house. Isabella would chew her alive in that house. Noah took Emma to his apartment, an employee unit provided by the company he works for. He rarely used this place because he had a house of his own. He only spent a few nights here whenever he left work late, since it was very near the company, just a 10-minute walk away. You can stay here. I don't use the place much. It's all yours for as long as you need, he said, standing in the apartment with Emma. He showed her the guest bedroom and asked her to rest. Are you sure you don't want me to call a doctor for you? He asked once again. Thank you so much, sir. I'll be fine, really, she reassured. Noah left for work, and Emma was left alone. She hated the pitiful look in Noah's eyes. She wished she had somewhere else to go. Anywhere. But she had no place, no relatives, or friends to run to. She had to take advantage of his kindness, no matter how embarrassing it was for her. Noah was the last person she would expect to receive help from, the brother of her bully. She really dreads the day Isabella finds out about this arrangement. She had close to 20 missed calls from her and several text messages she refused to open. She could imagine the curses and threats being delivered. She had no energy for that at this point. Emma was woken up by Noah at noon. Sir, you're back? She said as she sat up. I brought lunch. Come eat something, he said. Noah carried the takeout bags to the small dining table, carefully unwrapping the warm food. Emma, still in disbelief, watched as he quietly dished out a portion for her, placing it gently in front of her like it was the most normal thing in the world. She hadn't expected that. Not pity, not awkward questions, just kindness. They sat and ate together in silence, and she noticed how he never once made her feel uncomfortable. After the meal, he reminded her gently to take her medication, and then left for work again. Noah left work early and bought dinner for Emma. Welcome back, she said as he walked in. Feeling better? He asked. A lot better, thank you, she smiled. I brought you dinner. Eat before taking your medicines, he said, placing the food on the table. He added that he would head home now and she should call him in case of anything. That's a lot of food? Won't you have dinner too? She asked him. Yes, I bought extra. You can keep the rest in the fridge. I got you something for breakfast tomorrow as well. There isn't much in the kitchen, but I'll have it restocked tomorrow, he said. Emma just nodded. Noah was just about to leave when Emma's phone, which was on the kitchen aisle right next to him, started ringing. A call was coming through. He saw the name. It was Isabella. The phone rang, and Noah just kept watching it ring. It stopped, and Isabella sent a message almost immediately. It contained a clear warning. Listen, you fool. If you do not answer my very next call, I will drive to your house to get you. We both know your parents won't mind handing you over. Noah read it. This meant Isabella knew about Emma's abusive parents and just didn't care. In fact, she seemed to be taking advantage of it. How heartless was his little sister? Isabella called again, and this time, Noah answered. He could hear loud music and chants in the background. He knew she must be out at a nightclub, like always. The first 2 minutes of the call were just Isabella spitting the most abusive curses Noah would never have thought would come out of his own little sister's mouth. We have been calling and messaging you for hours. Do you really think you are in a position to ignore us? Listen, Emma, you had better deliver our fully done and perfect projects tomorrow at my house, first thing in the morning. Bring your own as well, just so I can decide which one to pick. And don't you dare think of playing games. Remember, we're in the same class, and I will know whatever project you submit and the marks you get. And for your own sake, I better perform better than you. You know what will happen if you mess with us. If that beating we gave you wasn't enough, let me remind you. There's more where that came from. And if you really want your job back, you'll do as I say. Bring those projects and make us more cookies. Add more sugar this time. We aren't some old women, she ordered. I am the only one who can talk to your old manager and convince him to give you your job back. If you look for a different job, we'll just get you fired again. Your fate is in my hands. Don't forget that. She spat. Do you understand? She asked. I need a response, Emma. I said. Do you understand? She barked. Noah ended the call. This was too much for him to take. That was his little sister. He knew the right thing to do. He just couldn't do it. He stared at Emma, who was standing idly, her head bowed. He just couldn't understand why anyone would want to hurt her. He didn't know her well, but from their few interactions, he could tell she was an innocent girl, a harmless soul. After seeing how her parents had abused her earlier that morning, he had assumed the fresh bruises on her body were inflicted by them and that she had come to his house already injured. But Isabella had just confessed that she and her friends had beaten her up, and it was obviously not the first time. His sister was actually leading in bullying and physically abusing a girl they all knew came from an abusive household. How evil could a person be? Not that it would be any better to bully anyone else, but this is just a different level of evil. Noah just looked at Emma and felt extremely helpless, knowing he wouldn't do the right thing. He wouldn't seek justice for her, because the person on the other end, the aggressor, is his sister. His only sister. He was no longer in the mood to go home. He didn't even want to see Isabella. He felt like he didn't know her at all. He turned around and walked to his bedroom. This apartment only had 2 rooms, right opposite each other. Emma was surprised to see this. She had thought he would be leaving. She wondered what Isabella had said to him that changed his mind, but she had no say in it. He could leave or stay. It was his house. Dinner was quiet for the most part, both of them deep in their thoughts. I heard you telling your parents that you lost your job. Did my sister get you fired? He asked Emma. She tried as much as possible to avoid his gaze, but he kept waiting for an answer, staring at her pointedly. So, she slowly nodded her head. That was all. They both went their separate ways to bed after that. Emma knew she would need to try to get another job. Her parents wouldn't take her back unless she promised to bring money home every week, and she couldn't afford to pay rent right now. She could only work part-time, and the money wasn't much. College will start soon, and she knows she can't stay here for long. Isabella wouldn't allow it. And she can't outstay her welcome, that is, if it exists in the first place. For now, she could only hope. The next day, Isabella storms into her brother's office, ready to throw a tantrum. She looks angry. Isabella, you can't just barge in here however you please, Noah says. Yes, I can. I am your sister, and you are one of the owners of this company, she barks. What do you want, Isabella? I'm quite busy. Why did you ask Mum and Dad to come pick me up? You know I don't want to live with them. Well, they are your parents. They are our parents, and you know how annoying they can be. I'm old enough to live on my own. I agree, but you have been proving time and again that you aren't mature enough to be left alone. Convince them, and maybe they'll give you your apartment back, he suggests. You know they won't. They only allowed me to move out because I said I'd live with you, she cries out. They trusted you before, allowed you to move out, bought you an apartment, but you messed up. Even I can't control you, Isabella. So what's the point? Is that why you don't want to live with me anymore? Because I go to a few parties? Noah sighs. No, Isabella. My workload in the office has increased, and I need to live near the company, so I'll be in the staff unit from now on, he explains. Okay, that's fine. I can move in with you, but can you just buy a bigger apartment in the area instead? That one is so tiny, there won't be enough space for my friends and I to hang out. You can get a luxury penthouse, there are many close by. she arrogantly suggests. No, I like that apartment. It's just enough for me, and you can move in with Mom and Dad. There is more than enough space in the mansion for your friends to do whatever you people normally do. Isabella tried every possible way to convince Noah, but all her attempts failed. Her brother, who normally does anything she wants, was now immune to her charm. That evening, as Noah walked into the apartment, he saw Emma moving about in the kitchen. "Welcome, sir. Good evening," she greets. He just nods. "What are you doing?" he asks. "I just thought I'd make dinner," she says, wondering whether she'd done something wrong. Food was delivered to the apartment earlier, just as she was about to prepare lunch. The least she could do was prepare something. "Don't overwork yourself. You're still recovering. Besides, there's no need to cook. We are in the middle of the city. There are good restaurants everywhere. Let me freshen up, then we can go for dinner," he explains. Emma just nods. This whole thing was just too awkward. She feels like a beggar. In actual sense, she is one, if only she had options. Emma has contemplated quitting school in order to move out of her parents' house and find a full-time job. But she just can't let Esther down. That old woman has sacrificed a lot to put her through college. The restaurant they went to was just down the road. They already had dinner and were now walking back to the apartment in silence. "You don't talk much, do you?" Noah says randomly. Emma looks at him and doesn't respond like always. What is she supposed to say anyway? Noah leads them to a beautiful cafe. He walks in, and Emma awkwardly follows. She stands aside, admiring the place as Noah talks with some man. They discussed for a few minutes. "Hey, Emma, come here," Noah calls out, gesturing for her to come. Emma walks towards them. "Simon, this is Emma. And Emma, this is Simon, the manager of this place." Noah introduces them. "Good evening, sir," Emma greets. "Nice to meet you, Emma. Noah says you need a job, and I need to get in his good books. So you are hired. You can start in a week," he says with a warm smile. Emma was so shocked. She looks at Noah with so much gratitude. She was so happy. She offered to start tomorrow, but Noah refused, saying she needs some days to recover. That was new to Emma. She is used to getting beaten up and doing heavy labor right after. Simon assures her that her spot is secure, so she didn't insist. Emma was so happy, she just had to make sure Isabella doesn't find out about the cafe. She hasn't received any more calls or texts from her today. Isabella might be horrible, but her brother seems like a complete opposite. Emma doesn't know much about Noah. The first time she saw him was when he came to pick up Isabella at the college. All the girls were basically drooling over him. Apparently, he is a genius and went to the same college years ago before going abroad to further his studies. He was a valedictorian in their year, and the lecturers still speak highly of him. There are still pictures of him everywhere at the university. He was much younger then. One thing is for sure, though. He loves his sister a lot. Isabella is always singing praises of her brother, Noah Briven, the tech genius. Isabella's friends also admire him. Isabella's parents are multimillionaire business moguls, so she is basically a princess at the university, and Emma is the plain Jane who gets to face her wrath. That college is basically for the rich. If it wasn't for Esther, who insisted that she register here specifically, she wouldn't even come be there. She feels guilty that the old woman is using her and her late husband's life savings to put her through college. Esther says she wants the best education for her, and Emma had made a promise to herself to make her proud. She really needs those good grades. She cannot bother Esther with any more of her personal problems. If only Isabella didn't make life at college hard for her. Home was already troublesome as it was. She just wants to study hard and change her messed up life. Doesn't she deserve that much? The week living with Noah has been the most peaceful one of her entire life. She feels so free. Noah is the most easygoing man ever. She was able to visit Esther, and she had a great time with her and the other grannies. She made them her signature cookies again. They love them so much. and always ask her to bring some when she visits. The week passed and she started working at the cafe. It was really great. The place is so near. The pay is good. Very good. And Simon asked her to make pastries, something she is great at. She loves her job. The cafe is just near the tech company Noah works at, and he comes over a lot. She has met some great people in these few days. It is actually easy to open up to people if you do not have the dread of going to an abusive home at the end of the day. Her favorite person of all is Noah. He is the only reason she will never regret meeting Isabella. All her taunts feel worthy. Noah got her a new phone and phone number because, despite Isabella not calling or texting her anymore, her friends, her partners in crime, Mirabelle, Tasha, and Stacy, kept bothering her, so Noah changed her phone number. He bought her a laptop as well, which made studying and research so much easier. She had been going to the library to use the computers there to get work done. Her other alternative was her old cracked-up phone. It wasn't easy at all, so she was really happy. Emma embraces anything that will make her education easier. Studying and excelling is her ultimate goal now. Being with Noah was like a dream. He made it so easy for her to loosen up and warm up to him. Over the past few weeks, Noah and Emma's friendship has grown tremendously. In the mornings, they have breakfast at the cafe where Emma works. Freshly brewed coffee and warm pastries, before Noah heads to the tech company. Later, Noah often comes to pick Emma up, and they go out for lunch at different spots around the city, enjoying the freedom of conversation and laughter away from the pressures of their separate lives. After lunch, Emma usually heads back home while Noah returns to the office. Emma currently works only the morning hours at the cafe. Simon said he'll switch her working hours once college starts in order to aid her studies. So after she is done with her work in the morning, she goes home to study and rest. When Noah arrives in the evening, they either go out for dinner together or order food to enjoy at the apartment. Emma has eased up a lot around him. They are good friends now. Their bond is built on trust and quiet support, something Emma hadn't experienced in years. For the first time in a long time, life was going well for Emma, and she was genuinely happy.